Let me paint a picture real quick. You wake up on a random Tuesday morning. Nothing dramatic, no emergencies, no big life events. You grab your phone, check your bank app, and you see your balance. And it's not zero. It's not negative. It's not, let me move money from savings so this overdraft doesn't hit. It just says $50,000. And suddenly, your entire nervous system relaxes. Not because you're rich, not because you can quit your job, but because for the first time in your adult life, money isn't screaming at you. If that scenario made you feel something, if you felt your shoulders drop just a little, yeah, that's not an accident. Because here's the thing. $50,000 in savings will change your life more than $500,000 in investments ever will, at least at first. And most people have that completely backwards.
My name is Jay, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, behavior, and why smart people still feel broke. If you're someone who earns decent money but still feels financially fragile, stressed, or one bad month away from panic, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, I know the internet loves big numbers. Millionaire at 30, seven-figure net worth. Here's how I turned $1,000 into $500,000. But nobody talks about the part that actually changes how your life feels day to day. So today, I want to challenge a huge assumption in personal finance, and honestly, one that keeps people anxious way longer than they need to be. The big lie about wealth. Here's what most people believe. Once I have a lot of money invested, I'll finally feel secure. Sounds logical, right? Except it's wrong. Because security isn't created by big numbers on a spreadsheet. Security is created by liquidity, flexibility, and control. And this is where it gets really interesting. According to Federal Reserve data, nearly 60% of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing or selling something. Let that sink in. Not a $10,000 emergency, not a medical catastrophe, $1,000. Which means the real dividing line in society isn't rich versus poor. It's stable versus fragile. And $50,000 in savings puts you on the stable side of that line. Why $50,000 is a psychological nuclear weapon. Let's talk psychology for a second. Your brain doesn't care about net worth. Your brain cares about survival risk. If your money is locked up in retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, or home equity, your brain still feels exposed. Because in an emergency, you can't use those things easily. So even someone with $500,000 invested but only $3,000 in cash will still feel anxious. Meanwhile, someone with $50,000 sitting in boring, unsexy savings feels calm. Why? Because cash equals options, and options reduce fear. The real math nobody shows you. Now let's do some actual math, not influencer math. Assume two people. Person A, $500,000 invested, $5,000 in savings, high monthly expenses, job-dependent income. Person B, $50,000 in savings, $75,000 invested, moderate expenses, same income. Person B sleeps better. Every time. Because savings isn't about returns, it's about time. $50,000 buys you 6 to 12 months of living expenses, time to say no, time to job search without desperation, time to handle emergencies without debt. That's not wealth in theory, that's wealth in real life.
The freedom to say no. Here's a subtle but massive shift that happens around $50,000. You stop saying yes out of fear. You don't accept bad jobs, tolerate toxic bosses, stay in underpaid roles, panic at every email from HR, because you know, deep down, I'm okay even if this goes sideways. And look, Most people think financial freedom means quitting work. It doesn't. It means choosing work instead of needing it. That distinction changes everything.
Why $500,000 doesn't feel like what you think. Now you might be thinking, hold on, Jay, $500,000 is a lot of money. It is, but here's what most people don't realize. If that money is in retirement accounts, in volatile markets, tied to long-term growth, not meant to be touched, then psychologically it doesn't register as safety. In fact, it can increase stress because now you're watching markets, worrying about drawdowns, obsessing over performance. And if you still don't have savings, you're rich on paper and broke in practice. Liquidity is the real flex. Let me say this clearly. Liquidity beats net worth until your basics are handled. That's why people with high incomes still feel broke. That's why doctors, lawyers, and tech workers live paycheck to paycheck. That's why lifestyle inflation hits so hard, because they skipped the boring part. They chased returns before stability, and the order matters. The $50,000 threshold effect. There's a reason $50,000 feels different than $20,000 or $30,000. At around that level, emergencies stop being emergencies, unexpected bills become annoyances, financial decisions slow down, emotional spending drops. You stop reacting. You start choosing. And psychologically, that's when people finally start making better money decisions, because fear isn't driving the bus anymore. 2 paths, same income. I've seen this play out over and over. 2 people, same salary, same age. One focuses on maxing every investment account immediately. The other quietly builds cash first. 5 years later, the second person switches jobs for higher pay, takes smarter risks, invests more consistently, actually stays invested during downturns. Why? Because they're not scared. The first person panics every market dip and pauses contributions the moment life happens. Security compounds behavior, not just money. Why savings changes your identity. This is the part nobody talks about. Money doesn't just change what you can do, it changes who you think you are. When you have real savings, you stop identifying as someone barely holding it together, someone one bill away from disaster, someone bad with money. You start seeing yourself as capable, prepared, in control. That identity shift is priceless, and it happens way earlier than $500,000. All right, let's get practical. Here's how you actually build that $50,000 without feeling miserable. Step 1. Redefine the goal. This is not dead money. This is stress insurance. Step 2. Separate the account. Different bank, no debit card, no casual transfers. Make it psychologically untouchable. Step 3. Automate aggressively. Treat savings like a bill. Weekly or bi-weekly transfers. Small enough to ignore, consistent enough to matter. Step 4. Pause lifestyle inflation. Every raise funds savings first, not upgrades. Step 5. Protect the floor before building the ceiling. Stability first. Optimization second. Always. Look, the internet will keep selling you dreams. Big numbers, fast wins, flashy returns. But real wealth starts quietly. It starts with peace, with margin, with breathing room. And for most people, $50,000 is the moment life stops feeling fragile. If this video helped shift how you think about money, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm this content actually matters. Subscribe if you want honest conversations about building wealth without losing your sanity. And remember, before you chase millions, make sure you can sleep at night. I'll see you in the next one.